Jim Holman, editor of The Reader, and I'm speaking with Bruce Henderson. And we're starting to talk about the beginning of the Charger scandal. And there were several parts of this scandal. And let me ask you first, Bruce, what was the first thing you noticed when you read this contract that was presented by the Chargers to the city?
Well, the first thing I noticed was I couldn't understand it.
You're a lawyer, right?
Well, I'm a lawyer, and not only am I a lawyer, but when I was in Japan, I worked for a law firm that represented over 40% of Fortune's top 500 U.S. corporations doing business in Japan.
Okay.
And I'd done a lot of transactional work, read a lot of contracts, analyzed a lot of deals, joint ventures, things like that.
So what did you understand about this contract?
Well, I didn't understand it.
Okay,
So I read it again.
Okay.
And I still didn't understand it. See, you have to, in reading agreements like that, they have defined terms. So you'll have 5 or 6 pages of defined terms.
Right.
First thing you have to do is get those into your head.
Uh-huh.
Because the words in the contract mean what the defined terms say they mean, not necessarily what you might think they mean.
So who did you tell? Who did you express your frustration to?
Well, eventually I read it the third time and understood it.
Mm.
And then I was profoundly shocked. Because what the contract provided was a roadmap out of San Diego to Los Angeles.
Oh, even then? Okay.
The contract very clearly laid out, we're going to make our best effort to move the Chargers. We, the Spanos family, are going to make our best effort to move the Chargers out of San Diego back to Los Angeles.
Wow.
Now, why? Well, San Diego back then, and even now, is about a 3 million person market.
Yeah, small TV market. Yeah.
LA was 26 million. So, I mean, you don't have to be very clever to understand why they might want to move.
Why did they ever come here if we're so small?
Well, because this, I don't know. I don't know why they chose to come here, but there was a stadium.
Yeah.
And it was a small team back then, and it was a big, it was relatively speaking a big market, but small enough that you could function in it.
Oh, okay, so there were advantages.
There were advantages, and they made a lot of money here.
Okay.
And so anyway, I read it, and I saw that they intended to move. That was why there was a ticket guarantee.
But the ticket guarantee was the most egregious thing that...
Well, the ticket guarantee was there because when they announced that they were going to move, there were going to be a lot of fans that didn't buy tickets.
Oh, okay.
And so the ticket guarantee meant that the city would then buy the tickets.
Yeah.
And so you started going through this, and it said, for example, that in such and such a year, the Padres would no longer, if the Chargers were at the stadium, by 1999, I think it was, the Padres would no longer have any rights to any of the advertising revenues while the Padres were playing ball.
Oh.
All of the revenues would go to the Chargers.
So
what did that tell me? It told me that the Padres intended to have a new stadium.
Oh.
They did not intend to be there either.
Oh. Oh, my goodness. So there was a lot going on behind the scenes, it sounds like.
Well, when you read the agreement, it was all laid out.
Yeah. Wow.
But it was difficult to understand.
Yeah.
First, you had to be a transactional attorney. Secondly, you had to get the nomenclature down. And then third, you had to read the document carefully.
So what did you do? Who did you tell? When you found this
I wrote a long letter
Okay.
to the San Diego City Council. I laid all of this out.
What year is this? This is
96.
96.
96. I laid out the whole problem with the roadmap to Los Angeles, the whole problem with the ticket guarantee, the whole problem with the fact that the Padres couldn't stay there any longer.
Oh.
I laid everything out. because it was there.
And did you get an answer
Yes, fuck you.
from Susan, from the mayor and the city council? Nope.
Susan Golding, I have a video of her. I'm down at the San Diego City Council, and she said, there is no interest on the part of the Chargers to move out of San Diego. You are a liar, Bruce Henderson.
Wow. Wow. She had your number. She knew you were an enemy, I guess. That you were
Yeah, well, of course,
thwarting her interests.
Susan liked me.
Right.
I like Susan.
But you were thwarting her interests.
But I was in the way.
Yeah.
And you see, I write a letter. But who else gives a damn? You see, all the problems, first, it wasn't apparent to most people. They hadn't thought out the economics. And secondly, the problems with the ticket guarantee hadn't manifested yet. Ticket guarantee ultimately ended up costing us $100 million.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And destroyed Dick Murphy's career as a mayor.
I'm going to stop right here. To be continued. Next, I want to talk about how the reaction played out in light of the upcoming Super Bowl, because it seemed to me the town was in a frenzy, and it turned out to be a frenzy against you.
Oh, yes.